Let's see. All right, we are going live. Let's see. We're going live. We're going live. All right, we're live. Hi. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. All right, so before I get started, because I want to talk about the stories, because I think this is a conversation that we need to have, because I spend so much of my day talking to women about their stories and stories that are not serving them. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Before I do that, I just want, if you're popping on, can you please let me know that you're here live, so that way I know that people can hear me, because you know the tech stuff. It was kind of funny. I was on a call the other day and I'm like, and the members are like, I don't think I can hear her. Yeah, so please, if you're hopping on, let me know, okay, that you can hear me, because there, hey, thank you so much. So I got Deely's here, Teresa's here. Okay, awesome. Yay, thank you so much. I appreciate when you guys let me know that you can hear me. I'm telling you, it's one of those things, like with all the things, and you're shutting off and you got kids and they're trying to sleep, and so you're turning off sounds, you never know. Okay, so first thing, and I want to thank you guys so much. New podcast episode out today. I am so excited. This one is all about making sure that you look at your schedule, because the holidays are coming. Guys, we have less than 2 months until Christmas. Seriously. Okay. And I know, people say it's the same day every year. I get that. That's fine. It still sneaks up on me, especially now that I'm in Florida. It's still 80 degrees. We're still wearing shorts and it's almost November. Okay. Any of my other Southern folks that I don't know if that's an issue for you guys. That's such an issue for me. I'm like, it should be cold, and it's not, because it's Florida. Not that I don't like it. But it's definitely kind of a little bit of a culture shock. So today I want to talk a little bit about the stories that we have built around us. So Sarah says California is the same. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird, because like it should be cooling down and it's not. Okay. And I love it. It's awesome. So let's talk about the stories. Okay. And I want you to think about, as we're going through this, what are the stories that you tell yourself? Because we all have these stories that we've kind of built around us like a wall, right? And so some of the stories that, that I hear on a regular basis is, which that one, oh, I hate that one. Oh, I do. I hate that one. I just can't do it. I'm just going to fail again. And we build all of these stories, okay? And these stories, this is the reason that I'm just going to sit and watch Netflix. This is the reason that I'm not even going to try, because it's not worth it. So I'm not going to do it. And so I want you to think about the stories that you have surrounded yourself with, and how can we change those, right? So one of the things about Bookkeeper Training School is that we push people outside their comfort zones. Okay. You're starting a business, you're learning a new skill, and then you're going to go out there and you're going to sell that skill. And for a lot of people, fear goes crazy. Okay. And so, it's interesting, because one of the stories I think that comes up like super early for people is I ask them right away, if you're in the course, you know this, but if you're not in the course, I ask people like right away when they join, hey, I want you to post on your wall on Facebook that hey, I'm so excited I started a bookkeeping course. And it's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to share more with you guys. And for some people, they're like, oh my God, I can't do that. And the stories start flying. Nobody's going to support me. Everybody's going to laugh at me. I've failed in business before, so this is going to fail too. Ever been in that, when you join the course, I want you to kind of stop and think like, hey, these stories. And I know for a lot of you, so Sarah said, you're kind of reading my mind today, making business cards, etc., and blank. Okay. So it's really interesting when that happens. Okay. And I think it's a great example. When that happens, I want you to sit down and think like, okay, yes, there's a blank, right? But what are you hearing in the background? What are you hearing in the background of that? Because typically there are more voices, there are more stories, there are more things going on than just blank. Okay. And so I really want you to think about this. And I know I was doing, I'm in a coaching certification program, and we just did a module on forgiveness and forgiving ourselves. Oh, was this hard? Was this hard? So I have, just so you know, one of my stories was that my body's always working against me. And that story runs through my head all the time. You know, well, there's no point trying to lose weight because your body works against you, right? You had cancer, you know, you've had back issues, you struggle to lose weight, all the things, right? All the things. And so I had to sit down, and I was going through this exercise, and this might be helpful with some of these stories that you have. I had to forgive myself, right? I had to apologize to myself for treating my body this way and treating it like the enemy. And it's really interesting because when I did that, it felt like a weight was lifted. Like it real like, and on all the tears and all the things, and you know, if I really sat there, I'm like, I'm sorry that I have always treated myself as the enemy. And I promise to work with myself and with my body instead of always blaming it for everything. And I think some of you might benefit from doing something similar, right? And so maybe sit down and say, okay, what are all the things that I blame myself for, that I'm angry with myself about? And what do I need to apologize to myself for so that I can let it go? Because forgiving those things in the past, and a lot of times we've got guilt related to things we've done in the past. Maybe you've had businesses before that you failed in that didn't work for you. And it's interesting, we actually had a real breakthrough with somebody in the course, because I don't think a lot of people understand like how much coaching we do inside the course. That it's not just like everybody thinks like it's bookkeeping. Well, yeah, it's bookkeeping, and it's building a business, and it's marketing, and it's mindset, and it's coaching. And it really is. It's amazing what we do in there. But we had a breakthrough with somebody that she joined, and she said, I'm really worried because, you know, I fail at business. And I asked him, like, well, let's unpack that a little bit. Like, what type of businesses have you done before? And she's like, well, I've done direct marketing. And I'm like, okay, so can we change that story to maybe direct marketing doesn't work for me, but this is different, right? This is a skill. And so, yes, that type of business didn't work for me, but we're going to try this, and we're going to put our heart into this. And she's like, oh my God. And it was like a light bulb went off, like, oh wait, this is different. This is not the same thing. Right. And so I just think that it's really interesting that sometimes when we allow ourselves to just change the story slightly, right? And for me, that was saying, you know what? My body is not the enemy. And we are going to work together, right, to live a long and prosperous and healthy life. And it was amazing what that did for not only my mindset, but like physically, I felt so much better. Because think about this, you know, and if you've ever been like in a toxic relationship before, right? Or you've had toxic people around you, when you are constantly saying that you are the enemy, that your brain is the enemy, that your body's the enemy, think about what you're doing to yourself when you do that. So, oh, Sarah, thank you. Think about what you do to yourself when you do that, and the pressure and the weight that you put on yourself when you're constantly treating yourself badly. Sarah said, BTS is a group for learning and support is amazing. Thank you, thank you. And she said, I love this. So I'd love for you this week that when you hear yourself go negative, when you hear yourself start to tear yourself apart, okay, that you start to think, first of all, is this truth, right? Because typically fear speaks in absolutes, right? You will fail at everything that you do. You know, you'll never make more money. Nobody will ever hire you, right? It's always absolutes. And so I think something that's really helpful, and listen, if you're in bookkeeper training school and you're not active in Empowered Bookkeeper Network, you're not active in the Facebook group, you're not active in the circle group, pick one of those groups, right? We're seeing people are passing the test, people are getting their first clients, their next clients. I'm seeing like all this marketing stuff go, like, it's just amazing. It is so awesome to see all of that. And I think that one of the greatest parts of Bookkeeper Training School is just having that community around you of like the most awesome women on the face of the planet. Because like, it's remarkable. And they so openly share and they so openly support each other. And it's the coolest thing ever. Let's see. Or you're going along, moving forward, a family member gets in your head telling you they hope it works, but come across not supportive. So here's so Elsie, it's a really good point. Why does that person's opinion matter? Right? Why does their opinion matter? And typically that's because we're looking for feedback because we don't believe we matter and our own opinion of ourselves doesn't matter. Can I tell you how many times people have been like, that's not going to work? So when I started my own firm, right? I had no hair because I was going through chemo. Okay. This was back in 2006. Okay. I had no eyebrows. I was pale. And I was going out there trying to get clients and people are like, you're nuts. Nobody's ever going to hire you. Why don't you go stay home and get better first? And I'm like, I can't do that. I have to make some money. We have bills to pay. And I built my firm. But I knew that I could do it because internally I knew, and I was being my cheerleader. And that's one thing, when you stop blaming yourself, okay? When you stop treating yourself as the enemy, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks of what you're doing. Because ultimately you've got your back. And that is so, so important. So I hope that this was helpful. I love your comments. It is absolutely, they're absolutely amazing. So Sarah said, Elsie, put your fingers in your ears, la, 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 your way out of it. They don't know BTS content. How we are all going to succeed if Kristen has anything to do with it. If I have anything to do with it, you're all going to succeed. You are all going to succeed. Because it's just like, I'm telling you, if you go through and you read through the posts, and like my favorite posts are the posts that are like, okay, so I didn't listen to Kristen and I finally listened to what Kristen told me to do. And it worked. But like those are my favorite posts ever. They really are. So yeah, so thank you guys so much. Sarah said, I need this today. Thank you, Kristen. Hope you're posting this. Yeah, so listen, so this is going to stay on the page. This is also in my free group and the Empowered Bookkeeper Network on Facebook. And I'll probably have the team email out a link to everybody that's in Empowered Bookkeeper Network, because I just think that this is so critically important. If you become your own cheerleader, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody says, because you've got you, right? And remember that when you are in Empowered Bookkeeper Network, you also have all of us, and we will support you until you get to that point, right, where you are your own best cheerleader. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you know anybody that needs to hear this, can you just tag them in the comments? If there's anybody from from Bookkeeper Training School that you think needs to hear this, please tag them to make sure that they find it. Because I think this message is super, super important. All right, thank you guys so much. You guys have an awesome day, and check out this week's podcast. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.